Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is North Carolina Living, where we're living it up here in Western North Carolina. I absolutely love getting out and experiencing the nature in this part of the country. I'm always looking for inspiration for my own garden and for the plants that I enjoy. And I don't have to look very far to find what I'm looking for, because here in the mountains of Western North Carolina, there are some of the most amazing, diverse group of plants that I've ever experienced in my life. And it's one of those things that really gets me excited about just when I think of plants and how, I'm always looking to be inspired, and coming out here and getting out in nature really does bring a lot of things into focus for me as to, what it is I'm trying to create or design in my garden, in my home landscape. And there's nobody that does it better than our good Lord up above. I often wonder, what is it that inspires me to create? And today I had this thought that, our God, our Heavenly Father, has created so much beauty and was inspired to create what we are and what we have in the world around us. And I want to try to embrace that more and really dig deeper within myself as a gardener, as someone who loves to create and design things of beauty with plants and nature. And so today I'm out cruising around on the mountaintops here looking for inspiration. And like I said, I don't have to look very far. I wanted to share a little bit with you guys today and show you around some of the plants that are just really exciting and get me thinking way more outside of the box for my home and garden landscape. And hopefully this will inspire you guys to look around where you're at and find that inspiration for your garden. So come along. All right, so what's going on, everybody? So I stopped here at a overlook here on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Just jumped on the parkway, didn't have to go very far. And I pulled over here at this overlook and hopped out, walking around, looking at all the native plants here. I found a couple of awesome conifers. Behind me here, I've got a spruce, a native spruce to the area, and a beautiful hemlock. And I absolutely love conifers, and they get me really inspired when I'm thinking about my home, garden, and landscape area. So I wanted to share a couple of these with you. I told you I was going to bring you around and show you some amazing plants out here in Western North Carolina. Now, these two conifers are, like I said, are native to this area. So it's amazing to see these beautiful, beautiful conifers out here, and they provide such a unique structure and texture out here in the mountains, and both are very unique and different from each other. So I'll turn this thing around and show you guys a little close-up of it. All right, here it is. This is a beautiful native spruce here to Western North Carolina, also known as the red spruce. This thing is a beautiful, beautiful specimen here, and just absolutely love what the spruces provide as far as texture and color. Got a lot of new growth coming off on this plant, and just a beautiful evergreen presence here in the mountains. Absolutely love that thing, man. It looks so cool. It makes me I wish that I had more room in my garden. But the cool thing is there's a lot of dwarf varieties that can give you that same kind of feel and look in your garden landscape. So there's the native spruce, and then right over here we've got a native hemlock. Now, the hemlock are just so cool to me because it's a tree that I didn't see a whole lot when I was living in Oklahoma. So coming out here to the mountains of Western North Carolina, I got to experience this whole new tree for me. And I've grown to love and absolutely adore the texture of it, the color. We got a lot of new growth popping on this. Really, really nice evergreen conifer here in the native region here in Western North Carolina. But again, another beautiful structure on this. And just so cool to get out here in nature and kind of connect with a lot of the native plants. And a lot of these things are plants that were discovered, you know, long time ago. And now we propagate specific cultivars of them in the trade so that, you know, people can plant these in their landscape and create all kinds of beautiful designs. It's a really cool way to think about gardening. Wow, whew, look at that view. It's amazing. These overlooks are just all over the Blue Ridge Parkway, and it's the perfect place for me to kind of come out, do some reflecting, have a big release of everything in the busy life that we all live, and just admire the glory of God and everything that He's created here. The Blue Ridge Mountains are just some of the most peaceful places on earth, and I just wanted to share a quick view of this overlook out here today. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's go on to the next place and see what other amazing plants we can find to keep that inspiration for all of our gardens. Let's go check it out. All right, so I'm hiking down this little trail here just off the overlook, just looking around trying to find some cool plants here to talk about. And I don't think I can walk past this without bringing this up. Behind me here, I've got an amazing, beautiful deciduous magnolia tree that's native to the mountains here in Western North Carolina. This thing is absolutely majestical, man. The leaves on it are huge, and just some of the most interesting like texture and leaf shape that you'll see out here in the woods, man. It's absolutely amazing. I had to share it with you guys, so I'll flip this around to show you a little close up. All right, so man, check this thing out. A beautiful deciduous magnolia. Now, this thing is one of my favorite plants out here in the wild here in Western North Carolina. When I first moved out here, I was just like totally blown away by this plant. I was like, man, what is that thing out in the woods there? It's these huge leaves. Probably the biggest leaf, like foliage, that you'll see here in the mountains. And it gets a beautiful white flower here in the middle of this cluster of leaves in the spring. And then these leaves also turn a beautiful golden yellow in the fall. So really cool to get out here and experience. You know, we all know the magnolia trees, and they're so popular in the landscape. But here we got these growing wild here in the mountains, and I absolutely love that. It's inspiring me to continue to create and design different things. And like I said, everything has a place that it comes from. This is where these things originate from. A lot of these beautiful trees and plants that we grow in our gardens all come from a very special place. And the mountains of Western North Carolina has a lot of what we know, and today in our landscapes, a lot of that stuff originates and comes from these areas. So I had to share this beautiful magnolia with you. All right, so I'm jumping back in here because I found another really cool plant. This one really gets me excited because this is an Acer species, and this is Acer pennsylvanicum, a beautiful snake bark maple that is native to this area here in Western North Carolina. This thing is amazing, dude. I gotta show you guys this. Definitely keeps me inspired, man. This thing just gets me all jacked up about planting things in the landscape that remind me of the beautiful nature around us. So check this thing out. All right, so check this out, man. This is some of the coolest leaves. Gosh, this thing, they're huge, man. This is way bigger than my hand. Absolutely love this, that I see these out here and just growing on the side of the mountains here in North Carolina. Now, this is one that I've experienced so many new plants here in this area of the country because, you know, I'm from Oklahoma, so I didn't get to see a lot of these different species of plants just growing here in the mountains. So I get excited about it. I hope you guys are enjoying this, but Acer pennsylvanicum. So this is a beautiful snake bark maple. When they're younger, they get kind of a green and white striping on the bark. As they get older, you kind of lose a little bit of that, but you can still see some of those striations in the bark, and I'll get a close-up and show you. But the first time I experienced this tree was in the fall, and this thing turns the most brilliant shade of yellow you can ever imagine. Absolutely beautiful. And as you can imagine, just this size of leaf, just in blazing yellow, bright yellow color, it's just absolutely phenomenal. And again, an inspiration for all of us, I think, to continue to create and design beautiful things in our landscape. And hopefully this can give you an idea of something, you know, in that realm that you could find that's being cultivated that could fit this kind of description or feel out in your garden. One of the first things that come to my mind is like an Acer pictum, where a lot of those batwing style snake bark maples, you know, there's a lot of different maples that could fit this bill. So it's a cool way to think about, you know, what can I put in my garden that would give me this kind of feel and texture out there. So check it out. hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Something a little bit different than what I usually got going on back at the rural gardens, but out here, man, is the real garden. You know, in the beginning, we were in the garden with God, and it's a place I think naturally deep down inside we all long to be back to. And I think about that often, and I'm always just inspired by the world that God has created around me. I never want to get so busy that I forget to appreciate it and admire the beauty that He has given us all around. So today I wanted to take a moment to come to the mountains, to the mountaintops, spend some time with God, reflect, be inspired, and remember what this is all about. We all have a short time that we're here on this earth, and I want to seize the day. Don't put it off, don't wait, don't get too busy. Remember to live and to create as God has given us life and created us. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this today. And if you do like this kind of content, let me know in the comments, and I'll get back out here to the mountains and share some of this beautiful world that is all around me here. So I appreciate you tuning in. Take care, and God bless.